Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today we are talking about personal year numbers. I put out a video recently talking about the collective year number, which is a number 6 for 2022. So you can go check that out if you want. But obviously that's talking about the collective and what everybody's going to be going through this year. And personal year numbers are going to explain what we are all more individually. Obviously there's a lot of people who will have the same personal year number as you, but it gives you a little bit more of an in-depth look as to what this year will be like more specifically for you. So you find your personal year number by adding your day of birth. So for me, I was born on the 23rd, and then your month. So I was born on the 23rd of March, and then the current year number. You do not use your year. So the current year, 2022, is a 6. So for me, I would add the 2 and the 3, add the 3 together for March, and then add the 6 on. I am currently in a 5 year. If it comes out as a double-digit number, you add those two numbers together until you get a single-digit number. The numbers you want to get are 1 to 9. There are no master numbers in personal year numbers. There's no 11, 22 or 33. It's just number 1 to 9. So your day of birth, your month of birth, and the current year is how you find your personal year number. So once you know what your personal year number is, I will leave timestamps in the description box below for you to skip ahead to your current year. What you could also do is watch the year before, especially because we're right at the start of the year, and you could really see how that plays out for you, like how that actually did happen in a sense, and then lead into what your current year is. So for those of you who are in a number 1 year, this is a year of the self. This is the year where you are really going to be focused on your identity, on your appearance. A lot of people could be changing the way they look, the way that they present themselves, and on your individuality and your independence. And it's going to be a year full of new ideas, new goals, and newness in general, because this is the start of the new cycle. You are at the beginning of a new 9-year cycle for you guys. So it's a whole lot of newness, new everything. And it's a year where you're going to really want to take charge of your life. The number 1 is a masculine number, and the masculine energy is very much a goal getter. They're doers, they're leaders, they're action takers, they are assertive, they are authoritative, and they show strength. And you are going to be having this over your own life this year and over yourself. A lot of people could be feeling a lot more dedicated and committed to working on themselves and whatever it is you want to attain for yourself this year. The first zodiac is Aries, and Aries are very optimistic. They are very ambitious, brave, honest, action orientated, competitive, strong, dominant, and they are natural leaders. And this is the energy that you will be embodying this year. So if you look up Aries traits, like the things I've just said, but you could look more into Aries traits, you are likely to be acting out as if you are more of an Aries this year. The number 1 also reminds us that we create our own realities, that our thoughts are extremely important, and you are very capable of creating your own life through your thoughts. The number 1 card in the tarot is represented by the Magician, and the Magician is known as the master manifester. He is capable of materializing anything into this world using his skill and using the energies around him. He is the embodiment of the divine masculine archetype as well. So we also have positivity is very important this year, like I said, how we think, but look at your new goals and your new found zest for life with optimism and hope, and don't think fear-based. This is relevant for every single year, but the 1 years and the 8 years are very important for this. And the number 1 also represents movement. It represents progression. Do not hesitate to move forward this year. Like I said, the number one and the Aries energies, they are doers, they are action takers. Aries are very much act first, think later, and you need to sort of embody this year of acting on your goals, acting on these new things, and really just moving forward. And you're likely on the start of a new section of your life path, your life purpose. So any new ideas, new things you want to try, new goals, new career opportunities, anything like that you have this year, go with it and move with it, because it's likely leading you on your soul path. So lastly, this is a year to really be active and look after your body. Exercise, sports, yoga. You may feel very charged this year and might need to burn off a lot of that energy. Like I said, Aries are very active. Aries love sports, they love exercise. So yeah, you'll have a lot of this new energy that you need to burn off. So that's a key thing for you guys as well this year. So that's everything. Thank you guys for watching. So if you are in a 2-year, 2 years are big years to be patient. It takes time for all the things that you started working on in your 1 year to manifest and to come to fruition, and they can feel like very slow years. The even number years, the 2, 4, 6, 8, are slow moving years, and it can be difficult for us this year to have faith and trust that everything is actually moving, but it is very important that we do. A lot of things will be occurring behind the scenes that we do not know about, and just because you can't see, or you might not be able to see the physical manifestation of the things that you have been working on from your 1 year, doesn't mean that they are not happening. It just means that it's all being worked on behind the scenes, and it's more likely to come into fruition during your 3 year. Don't let that discourage you of, well, why would I work all year if nothing's going to happen? Because obviously eventually it is going to happen, and either way this year is going to come to an end, and you would much rather have done the things and not seen reward for it and seen reward for it later than not done it and not ever see reward for it. So try not to get discouraged this year and feel like that you're not making any progress, because you are, trust me. The second zodiac is represented by Taurus, and Taurus can have a bit of a bad rep for being lazy. It's not a year to slack off, it's not a year to be stubborn, and it's not a year to be too focused on the material world. Like I said, if you're not seeing any results of the things that you're wanting to manifest, it doesn't mean that they're not coming. But the Tauruses are also, they're very kind, they're very generous, and they're very understanding and loving and dependable. And these are the energies that you need to embody this year. And Tauruses are very patient. If a task is going to take a long time to achieve, I know a Taurus can do it because they have that patience to stick with it and get it done, whereas me as an Aries, I can get very impatient and I can sometimes struggle to see things through to the end, whereas I know Tauruses can have that ability. So make sure you're embodying these good attributes of the Taurus this year, because with the 2, we also have, it is about compassion, it is about understanding, it is about balance, it's about your relationships. Your relationships and friendships will be at the forefront this year as well. It's a year for you to focus on cooperation, diplomacy, duality, balance, adapting to your needs and the other person's needs, whether this is your friend, whether this is your partner, whether this is your parents. It's a year to be patient with people around you, because everybody's on their own path, everybody's doing their own thing, everybody's learning lessons at their own pace. It's a year to be patient with them, and a year to be patient with yourself. If you're not where you want to be in life. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get there. You just have to have patience. But the Life Path 2s are very loving, very generous, and they're very good mediators. They're very good at finding an equal ground for everyone. And you might find that you have to do this year with your relationships. So, relationships, patience, trust that anything that you are working on behind the scenes is happening for you, even if you can't see it yet. Just trust the process, trust yourself. Okay? So, if you are in a free year, your free years are all about your creativity. It is a time to really hone in on your creative skills and talents. You will likely be feeling more motivated in these areas to improve if you are working on any creative hobbies or careers or anything like that. It's going to be very much a focus for you guys this year. The free year is all about your expression, how you express yourself, how you showcase yourself and your creativity to the world, how you communicate with others, how you express your needs, your wants, your emotions. It's a year where you are really to have fun and to go out there and socialise. Obviously, make sure you're taking your responsibilities seriously, but it's a year to enjoy life. It's a year to have fun. See the good side and everything. Go out more than you might usually go out. Socialise with others more than you might socialise with others. And make sure you are communicating your thoughts and emotions and feelings to other people. The third zodiac sign is represented by Gemini, and Geminis are very social, they're very outgoing, they're very chatty and witty and smart, and you are likely to be embodying the energies of a Gemini this year. So if you want to take some extra time to look up the traits of a Gemini, then you can do, and look up some of the lower vibrational traits as well, and those are the energies that you need to avoid slipping into this year. You might start to finally see some growth from your 2-year this year, which is great. You might finally start to see some reward and some manifestations and results from everything that you've been working on since your 1 year. As the number 3 can also represent manifestation, growth, expansion. So areas of your life should be improving for the better, especially if you did stick it out during your 2-year and have that patience when you weren't always seeing the results that you wanted. But by the end of this year, you should feel a lot more in alignment with yourself, and you should hopefully have some clarity and peace on who you really are in life and what really matters to you. You will have really learned how to communicate and how to express yourself, how to maybe be vulnerable with people sometimes, and how to get the best out of life really this year. So you should be feeling a lot more content at the end of this year with who you are as a person, how you express yourself to the world. It's all about being authentic and, like I said, your creativity. Your creativity is very important this year. Whatever you're passionate about, whatever you love to do, really focus on that and hone in on that this year. Very possible that any creative pursuit that you've been wanting to do as well will also be enhanced this year. You might just find that you naturally are a lot better at it this year, or you just feel more motivated to get it done. If you are in your 4-year, this is a year where you are laying your foundations for the rest of the 9-year cycle. You're laying the groundwork for the rest of your life. Things are going to be getting organised this year. This is a year where you're really going to be getting your life together. Any debts that you have, ideally want to be paid off this year, but everything's going to start to come together this year. It's a good year to declutter your home, declutter your personal life, your mentality of limiting beliefs and thoughts, and anything that no longer serves you. It is a year of work. And I don't just mean your day-to-day job kind of work, but work on yourself, work on you, work on who you are as a person, because that's ultimately what I mean by the foundations of your life, you know, because who you are is with you for the rest of your life, and it's going to be a year of self-growth and self-reflection. For me, just having my 4 year last year, I could really see that. I really feel like I really changed as a person, obviously for the better, and areas where I still needed to grow and into who I was meant to be, or who I'm meant to be in the future. I really feel like I worked on that a lot this year. Obviously for some people it is going to be, you might have already done all that and you don't have that to work on. You don't need to always work on yourself, and it is more your career or anything to build up for yourself will be happening this year. This year is a year to be practical, patient and devoted. It is not a year to, number one, slack off, because the 4 obviously represents hard work, it represents dedication and commitment, but it is a year where I've lost my train of thought. It's not a year to make impulsive decisions. Any decisions that you make, especially big decisions, life-changing decisions, moving house, moving job, changing your relationship, whatever it is, you should really take your time to think about it and make sure you're being thorough and you think about all possibilities and all options. Do not make any impulsive decisions this year. But be dedicated, be committed, and you will see some very good return for all the hard work that you do in the 4 year. The number 4 rules over the home, it rules over family. It's the 4th zodiac sign is Cancer as well, which also rules over home and family. But so for some, there could be physical changes in the home. You could be moving home, you could be redecorating, relocating, anything like that, just changes in your home. But it also means your internal home. You're feeling at home within yourself, feeling content with you. And like I said earlier about that, like there's any growth that needs to happen. Learning how to feel content with you and learning how to love your own company. Now, this can also mean that you'll be spending a lot more time with people who feel like home to you and re-establishing the idea of what home really means to you. It can also, this year can also be things to do with the mother, because the 4 represents the mother. Your relationship with your mother or your mother figure could be healing or deepening this year, however that looks for you and your life. But the mother is highlighted. You could be a mother, and so your relationship with your children could be highlighted this year. That could be growing and improving for some. Self-care is very important this year, especially, it's important every year, but especially in a 4 year, because even though this year is a year of work and hard work, it's very important to make sure that you are not overworking, that you're not becoming a workaholic. It's Mercury retrograde today. Not overdoing it. Make sure you're taking adequate time out to rest and rejuvenate. Find a healthy balance between work, rest, and play. Put your mental health first. This year could be full of a lot of opportunities, but a lot of them could be missed. You might likely miss them because you simply weren't putting enough work into something, because, like I said, this year's about work. You might miss it because you're being too focused and rigid and set into how you want to do something, how you want something to materialize in your life, that you didn't see that the universe was giving you an opportunity for you to have that thing, but just through a different route. However it comes about for you guys, but there is possibly some missed opportunities this year. So be more attentive. You don't obviously have to miss these opportunities. Be more attentive, be more open and receptive to input from others. If somebody's giving you advice, you know, you don't obviously have to take every piece of advice that everyone gives to you, but sometimes maybe you should listen. You know, maybe that's that guidance or advice from the universe that's trying to be given to you. pay attention to any signs and synchronicities this year. And like I said, you don't have to miss out on anything. Money could be a big fear this year. You could really want to hold on to your money. You could really want to save it. You can simply feel like you don't have enough. Try and stay grounded and try and develop a healthy relationship with money. Don't save all of it. Don't spend all of it. You know, have fun with it, but don't be too frivolous with it. You know, practice balance with your finances this year. And like I said, because we are laying foundations, you are learning how to create a healthy relationship with your money, learning how to create a healthy relationship with your mind, with your mentality, with your mental health, and learning how to create a healthy relationship within your home environment. Like I said, the fourth astrological sign is Cancer. Cancer rules over everything to do with home, family life. Cancers just want to make a safe haven wherever they go. And they are ruled by the moon, and the moon represents our emotions and our self-care. So these are all themes for you guys this year. And you are likely to be acting out as if you are a Cancer this year. So take a look at some traits. I should have done it ideally. Take a look at some traits for Cancers, the good and the low vibrational traits of a Cancer, and make sure you don't slip into any of the lower vibrational traits this year. So if you are in a 5-year like me, this is a very big year of change, and a lot of these changes are likely to be physical changes in our exterior world. A lot of changes could have been happening for you guys that were more internal. Like I said, the 4-year can have a lot of self-growth in there, but the 5-year is all about changes outside of you and learning lessons from those experiences that are happening outside of you. They're not internal realizations this year. They are physical lessons from everything that's happening outside of you right now. So anywhere you still need growth could be triggered this year in terms of, i.e., a breakup or a job loss, or any sort of mistakes could also possibly happen to trigger you into learning from it. Because like I said, we only learn, well, majority of the time we learn through our mistakes. So a lot of this could be happening this year. The 5-year is a very fast moving year. Things could happen abruptly, happen out of the blue, and you, like I said, you are asked to learn from your mistakes this year. Don't wallow in regret or fear or anything like that. You're asked to learn from it and grow from it. The 5-year loves to just shake things up. They just want to mix things up because you're at your midpoint from your 1-year to your 9-year, and the universe just likes to throw you a curveball sometimes. Now, obviously, all these changes aren't necessarily bad. You don't have to have like breakups or job losses or anything like that that trigger all this change, because you might not need healing and growth in that area. So I'm not trying to scare you. A lot of these changes could be very good for you. They could be job promotions. They could be getting into a new relationship, a healthy relationship. But there is going to be a lot of physical changes by the end of this year. But your whole belief system and how you understand life and understand yourself will be changed this year. You will be able to see where you have been holding yourself back, and where you have been repeating patterns in your life, and where you have been repeating cycles that you need to break out of and grow from. So it's a very good year for that. There could be a lot of opportunities as well this year, but not all of them are going to be aligned, just because some of them might fulfill short-term desires and temptations. So be very careful about what you choose to do, how you choose to spend your time and energy this year, as not everything that's going to come up is for your best interest. Not every new experience or possibility is going to be a good one. You shouldn't take everything that comes to you this year, because you can also develop a bit of a scatterbrain mentality. There can be a lot. You can feel like there's just a lot going on up here this year. Really take time to ground, because like I said, it's a very fast moving year. Take time to ground and center yourself. And choose wisely. Have discernment with any new opportunities that come up this year. If you think, yeah, this sounds amazing, but there's something in you that's saying, maybe not, try and listen to your gut, listen to your intuition, and use discernment. This could be a year where you really want to escape the 5-year. You want to escape your responsibilities. You want to escape the chaos that is the 5-year. And you'll want to delve into escapism. So partying, drinking, excessive exercise, anything to do with the physical senses. Gambling or smoking or all this kind of stuff is all linked to the 5 energy. But anytime you want to escape and you want to pleasure seek, then try and not overindulge in that. I'm not saying you can't have any of that, but just don't overindulge in it. Anything that can possibly feel like an out-of-body experience, even spending, overindulgence of any kind is to be avoided this year, but can easily be slipped into. It's a year where you're going to really want a lot of adventure. You're going to want to feel free, and you're going to want to feel able to explore, whether you want to go and explore the world or whether you just want to explore yourself. It's a year where you're going to want the freedom to do as you please. There's likely to be a change in your routines, change in your daily habits. Anything that doesn't align with you and your best self is likely to change, and anything that's holding you back from who you are supposed to be is likely to change this year. But make sure you aren't foregoing your responsibilities or hopping from one thing to another. Make sure you're not starting too many projects at once. Don't wear yourself too thin, and don't give up on anything that hasn't fully come into fruition yet. You don't want to miss out on something before you've had the chance to fully experience it. The 5th zodiac sign is Leo, and Leos are very creative. They are very outgoing. They're very confident, self-assured. They love the limelight, and they love to go out and have fun. So you could be feeling all of these types of energies this year. Your confidence in general could just be a lot higher this year, which is very good. But Leos can also be a little bit arrogant, egotistical, a little bit irresponsible, pretentious maybe. So make sure you're watching out for these lower vibrational traits and not slipping into them, because you are likely to be acting out the traits of a Leo this year. So it's going to be a very action-packed year for you guys, a very, very fun year. There could just be a lot that happens, but like I said, ground yourself and use your discernment about what it is you choose to do, and don't overwork yourself or overspread yourself through too many different avenues this year. Okay. So if you are in your 6th year, this is the year that we are currently going through. So 2022 is a 6th year. So for you guys, you get a double whammy of these energies. Go and check out my 2022 video, which I'll leave linked in the description box, because you're going to get more of an in-depth look at what this year is going to entail for you guys. But this year's main themes are love and lessons around love. You could be having people exit your life this year, any relationships, friendships, any people in your life that no longer serve or are no longer in alignment, no longer good for you, could be exiting your life. Anyone who is not meant to be in our life is going to separate this year. Anyone who doesn't resonate with us anymore, anyone who we've learned all of our lessons from, is going to be exiting our life this year. Now, I do not mean to scare anybody. If you are in healthy relationships, don't worry about it. This is just the people who don't fit with you anymore. If you've had any gut feelings about certain people that you maybe need to stop hanging around with, then this is the year where you're going to really be asked to let go of them. the universe could definitely be providing situations for you to really step up and let them go. But it's also a year where anyone who is in alignment with you, any of your soul fam, any soul mates, any new healthy friendships and relationships will be coming into your life this year. So you might need to make space by letting certain people go in order to allow new people to come in who really are in alignment with you. So if you think about it like that, it's a good trade, really. Obviously, this isn't necessarily the case for everybody, but this is a big theme this year of meeting your soul family and meeting a soul mate if you are single. It's a big year for engagements. It's a big year for weddings. People are either going to be getting married or getting divorced, breaking up or getting engaged. And there's going to be a lot of children this year. There's either going to be a lot of children born or conceived this year, but kids are a big theme, especially with it being a collective year 6 for everybody. It's going to be a lot of kids this year. Anything that you've wanted to do, if you've ever wanted to work with children, then this is a really, really good year for that. And if you have any kids, or if your friends have kids, or if there's kids around you of any kind, spend some more time with them. You might really enjoy their company this year, because kids are great. Kids are great to spend time with. It's a year where you will likely feel a lot more inclined to do more for others, to be more charitable. If you've ever wanted to consider doing any charity work, this is a really good year for that. You might find yourself just doing more for your community and the people around you, but just make sure that you are not overdoing it. The 6s can be overgivers. They are very generous, but make sure you're looking after yourself. Make sure you're not overdoing it in any way, because during this year you can feel as though you're doing more for others than you're getting back. And that's just kind of how the 6th year is. You feel as though you're not getting any praise for the things that you have been doing for other people. You kind of just got to roll with it this year, but just don't overdo it. And it might be a year where you need to put down some healthy boundaries in place and say no to some people. The 6 is ruled by Venus, so we're currently in a Venus-ruled year, and Venus rules over your beauty. So a lot of people are going to be having glow-ups this year. Your appearance could change. The way you present yourself, you could get yourself a new haircut, you could style yourself differently. Avoid during Venus retrograde. I know we're currently in Venus retrograde until the 29th. Avoid making any changes to your appearance during then, or I'm not sure if there's another one or when there's another one this year, but yeah. Any changes towards your home and your living situation could happen this year, or if you're simply redecorating your house, that could happen this year. But your day-to-day life and your routines are likely to change this year. Your day-to-day habits, your day-to-day job, how you look after yourself, and your health should hopefully improve this year. It's a really big year for your health and your diet, and the way you look after your body is going to be really important this year. So the universe is really going to be trying to nudge you and show you what needs to be done. But all of this depends on how in the flow you are with life. All of these personal year numbers, they all depend how in the flow you are with life and how resistant you are to change. Because obviously, you could do none of this. You could make no changes to your appearance, no changes to your home. It depends how in the flow you are and how much resistance you have. The 6th zodiac sign is Virgo. So you could be acting out a lot of the traits of a Virgo this year. And some of those positive traits are being organized, being disciplined, being humble, being patient, being kind, being helpful, being hardworking. And some of the not so positive traits of a Virgo are being perfectionists, worrying, jealousy, being hypocritical and being judgmental. Keep an eye on these lower vibrational traits, because it's likely that you will be embodying the energy of a Virgo this year. Like I said, main themes for you guys are love. So anyone that wants to separate from your life, let them go. But yeah, check out my 2022 video. Like I said, I'll leave it in the description box, because you guys really get a much more in-depth look at this year, because obviously I'm limited on how much time I could talk about each year in this video. So, if you are in a 7 year, this is a big year for you guys to really tap into your spirituality and tap into your psychic abilities, your psychic senses, and your intuition. It could all be enhancing this year. For a lot of you guys, you could be feeling a lot more in touch with the universe, a lot more in touch with yourself as well, your own spirituality. And you could want to spend a lot of time alone to really process everything that's going on for you. Be careful of shutting people out. The sevens, the life path sevens, can really have a habit of holding on and holding back their emotions from people. They can really have issues with trusting people and not truly expressing themselves, not truly being vulnerable with others, and shy away from difficult feelings. So try to be careful of that happening to you guys this year. Don't just lock yourself away, especially during any difficult times. Really lean on your friends and family, because that's how healthy relationships work. It's an equal give and take. They share their problems, you share yours. But it's a year where you are really going to be diving into your soul and really getting to know who you are and what your values are. It's a very big year for personal growth. And it can feel like a bit of a trying year because of that. Any areas where we still need growth, where we still need to heal, where we still need to work on ourselves, are really going to be highlighted this year. Any insecurities could come out. You could be feeling triggered, and you could really feel lost this year. You could really feel lost in your life. And it is all ultimately to lead you on the right path. You know, healing isn't easy and it looks different for everybody. But by the end of this year, you should really feel a lot more in alignment with your spiritual path, who you are, what your values are, what you really want to do, and who you really want to be on earth. And you'll feel a lot more you at the end of this year. You'll feel a lot more in touch with you and what your beliefs really are this year. And now it doesn't necessarily have to be a difficult year for everybody, but it's just whatever areas of growth you still have will come out this year. You know, you guys could be feeling really in the flow, really tuned in, really tapped into your spirituality, and, you know, feeling really on track this year. It just depends on where you're at in your ascension, your spiritual growth. It's a very big year for learning. The sevens love to learn. Life path sevens, they love to just soak up knowledge. They love to watch anything educational. They love to learn about things. They learn for fun, and they're very good at soaking it up. So anything that you've wanted to learn about, any new thing that you've wanted to learn, if you've ever wanted to learn a language, if you've ever wanted to learn to play an instrument, if you've ever wanted to take up some new career or do a course in something, this is a fantastic year for that, because you will really be able to soak it up. You could have failed your driving lessons so many times, your driving tests, and you're like, never again, I can't do it, it's not for me. This is a year where you might want to reanalyze that and do it, because you can soak in everything that's happening around you so much easier. So, yeah, anything that you stop doing, take it up. It's a really good year for that. If you've ever been called to do a spiritual career or get into a spiritual hobby of any kind, this is a very good year for that. Writing is highlighted this year. It's going to be a very beneficial year. If you are a writer, if you like to creative write, if you do writing for work, if you've ever wanted to become a writer, and even just journaling, writing out your emotions or manifestation, writing through scripting, can all be very, very beneficial for you this year. If you are struggling with your emotions, then you could really find that writing everything out is very good for you. But the 7th zodiac is Libra. So you will likely be acting out the traits of a Libra this year, but the Libra is represented by the scales, and balance. Balance is very, very important this year. Balancing your emotions, balancing your spirituality and your physical world, your mental health and your emotional health, not being too focused on one area that you're neglecting the other, you know, having a healthy balance in your relationships, a healthy balance with your money and with your work, anything like that, your social life and your work life, all about balance for you guys this year. So wherever you are out of balance is going to come up for review and is going to become more evident. So that's very important. I should have done it and I haven't for you guys, go check out some traits for the Libra, and any of the good traits are traits that you really want to embody this year, and avoid any of the low vibrational traits of a Libra this year, because you might find that you easily slip into those. Okay? So if you are in your 8th year, this is a really big year for you guys of manifestation. Things could really start to come into fruition this year. Things could really start to materialize. You could finally start to see some reward for all the hard work that you've been doing this year since your 1 year. You could be really feeling a lot more successful. The number 8 rules over money, so hopefully money will be increasing for you guys this year. And those of you who are working towards financial freedom could really start to see some progress with that. Your dreams could really start to come true for you guys this year, and you could really start to see some rewards for everything. So make sure your thoughts are positive. It's very, very important of the thoughts this year, the 1 year and the 8 year. Very important how we think. Very important to have a optimistic and positive outlook on everything, and trust that everything is working out best case scenario. The 8s are really powerful manifestors, and they really have the ability to manifest their realities very easily. Obviously we all do, but the 8s are just more naturally talented at it. So you could find that you have this year. You could be feeling a lot more on top of the world and feeling like you can make anything happen. The 8 on its side is the infinity symbol, which represents all of the unlimited possibilities that the 8 can bring into your life. It represents personal power. This is a year where you might need to take back your personal power from people. It's a year where you might need to put up boundaries, simply stand up for yourself and say enough is enough. I am not accepting any less than I deserve this year. So any jobs or relationships or situations or people that have been taking your power away, you could finally be ridding yourself from them this year and no longer settling. And it all depends on how in the flow with life you are. If you are very much in the flow of life, this is a good year for you guys. If you're very resistant to change, then you're going to struggle. Then that goes for any of the personal year numbers. So you guys, if you've really been resisting life, you could find that you have some financial difficulties, that you have some extra debts that come out of the blue. You could find that you have an influx of more people that seem to just be walking all over you this year. But this is just the universe's way of pointing out to you what it is that you really need to change, where it is that you really need to take control back in your life over yourself and over your finances. For some people, there could be a very key person that enters your life this year, and this person could either be a result of the hard work that you've been doing, or they could be maybe a bit of a lesson for you guys this year. For me personally, in an 8 year, I met 2 very important people who aren't in my life, but they played a very important role in my growth, my spiritual ascension, my self-love, and they really taught me how to take back my power and really taught me not to settle for anything less than I deserve. So any kind of success and money manifestation could happen a lot for you guys this year for promotions, and a year for really feeling good about everything coming into your life this year, as long as you stay optimistic and stay positive about everything that's happening for you guys this year. And if you need to step up and leave that job, leave that relationship, leave that situationship or friendship or social circle that just doesn't fulfill you anymore, that makes you feel like crap, that puts you down, then it is a year where you really need to step up and take back control of your life and take back your power and really say, no, I'm not having it this year. And anyone who has been really practicing that and stepping up for that, then it's a good year where you'll see reward for that, and you'll have some healthy relationships or work dynamics that come into your life this year as a result of you doing that. So be positive, be optimistic, and hopefully a lot of you guys will be making a lot of money this year. You guys could go and check out my Life Path 8 video, and it gives you a more detailed look at the 8 and the 8 traits and what is possible if you are Life Path 8, and you just sort of relate that over to a 8 year. If you want to do that, feel free to do that. That's available on my channel. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. So if you are in a 9 year, the 9 year is all about endings. Anything that doesn't need to be in your life anymore or doesn't belong in your life anymore is going to be leaving. This is a big year for you to declutter your space, your mind, your home, and to really exit any jobs, relationships, anything that doesn't serve you anymore, any limiting beliefs or thought patterns, you name it. It's all time to go this year, and for you to have a spiritual cleanse in a sense, and have a physical cleanse of anything that doesn't need to be in your life, all to make space for that 1 year when it's going to be full of newness, new beginnings, new opportunities, and a new cycle. So anything that doesn't belong anymore is time to go, and that includes any feelings of regret or hurt or pain, anything like that that you still are holding on to from your past is going to be highlighted this year for you to finally let go. Anything that you are holding on to, pent up emotions, need to be released this year. If you have any people in your life that you need to forgive, this does not mean that you have to socialize with them and engage with them and spend any kind of time with them or even talk to them. But anybody that needs your forgiveness for you, for your spiritual sake, for your emotional sake, anyone that you need to forgive, you need to do that this year. Don't take all that energy that you're harboring into the new cycle of a 1 year. You want to start your 1 cycle with a fresh energy of everything. The 9 year is going to be like a culmination of all the years put together. So everything that you've learned from your 1 to your 8 year is all going to finally be up for review this year. It could be a big year of introspection and a big year where you're realizing everything that's happened to you over the last 8 years. The 9s are kind of like the 6 years in a sense, because if you look at the number 9 and the number 6, they're basically the same, just upside down. And you could find that you are doing a lot for other people. You're doing a lot of charity work this year. And unlike the 6 year where you're feeling like you're not going to get any praise for it, you'd feel a bit like, why am I doing this, in a sense. In the 9 year, you're going to love doing it. You're going to do it because you want to, because it makes you feel good. I've not got enough space. Sorry about that, guys. I had to go and make some space on my memory card. But for you guys, this is a year where you are going to do things for other people simply because it makes you feel good. The Life Path 9s, they are very charitable, very generous, but they love to do it. It really brings them a lot of joy and makes them feel good in life. And you could definitely have a lot of this energy this year. You're really going to be asked to be of service to other people. Your mission during a 9 year is to be a humanitarian and to help those in needs. Your empathy and your compassion is likely to be heightened. Now, this doesn't mean you have to go and work in an old people's home or do charity work, but, you know, this can just include your friends and your family being there for people more. You know, you're going to have gained so much wisdom. You're going to feel very wise during the 9 year. The 9s are very wise and they're very old, naturally old souls. And It's time for you to guide other people with what you have learned, with all that wisdom you have accumulated. It's going to be a year where you really are helping out those around you. It's a time for you to really be a light worker, to really spread positivity and hope and show the way for other people through positive example. You really need to practice what you preach this year and really be the type of person that you are advising and helping other people to be, because this is how you're really going to help everybody else, is by being that positive example, being that role model, being that person that you want to see them become. You know, you can't be telling people to love themselves more if you aren't doing that. So practice what you preach this year, and like I said, you're likely going to find a lot of satisfaction with helping people this year. Your creativity could be heightened. Dive more into that if you are called to do so. But the number 9 is a very spiritual number. And unlike the number 7, the 7 year, that year is all about yourself, your own spirituality, and, you know, learning about you, your spiritual truths, your spiritual beliefs. The 9 year is about how you can impact the world and the people around you with your spiritual truths and your wisdom. So the 7 year is an internal spiritual year, and the 9 year is a very much external year. Anywhere you have grown and developed, you're helping other people to do that. And anything that does not need to be in your life anymore is going to be exiting. So really flow with life this year, and anything that the universe is nudging you to leave behind, people, jobs, anything, really do that, because the 1 year is going to offer you guys a lot of fresh energy, a lot of new energy, and you're going to really feel that. So yeah, really embody all these energies of the 9, of being a light worker, being a healer, being a helper. And you're going to find you're going to feel like it's a very rewarding spiritual year for you guys if you do this. You're going to feel very blessed, I kind of want to say, but you're going to feel a lot of benefit from helping others on their journey. I was going to say spiritual path, but obviously not everybody, even if you're watching a numerology video, is a spiritual person. But you're going to feel a lot more, what's the right word? Fulfilled, in a sense, this year from how you can help other people. And you might not always see anything in return from it, but you don't need it this year. Unlike the 6 year where you want it, you don't need it this year. You do it simply because. So yeah, overall, good year for you guys. Like I said, just don't be in resistance to it. Don't resist the changes that the universe wants to make. If people are trying to leave your life, it is for the best. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you haven't watched my 2022 video, please check that out. It'll be in the description box below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.